Hi, boys and girls. We're going to move on from showing how repeated addition can be written as a multiplication expression. So let's remind you here, we could write this expression as 4 times 10. Well, we can do the same thing for repeated multiplication here. So we're going to write the expression in exponential form. So you need to write down the following terms. Your base is always raised to a power, which we call the exponent. So we're going to write this using a base and an exponent. Your base is the number that's being multiplied. So in this case, your base is 5. The exponent tells you how many times you're going to repeatedly multiply your base. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be written as 5 to the 5th power. Let's try the next one. In this case, the number that's being multiplied repeatedly is 2. That is your base. So it can be 2 raised to the how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we write this as 2 to the 4th power. That's taking the expanded form and turning it into exponential form. So in the next example, you're going to write the expression from exponential form to expanded form. So we're going to take your base. How many times is your base going to be multiplied to itself? The exponent says 3 times. So it's 8 times 8 times 8. There's your expanded form. Best way to remember that expanded is getting larger. 10 raised to the 6th power can be written as 10 is your base. How many times? 6 times. So 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. The next page is using a variable. So just put there's a variable in there. Don't make this more complicated than it really is. What's your base? In this case, your base is g. And the exponent is 3. So that means we're going to take g times itself 3 times. Okay. Now you need to go back in examples 1 through 4. Use a calculator to evaluate the expression. So you can do that with a calculator. Once you're done with that, you're going to come back and do this part of the packet. What is the difference between 3g and g to the 3rd power? This has to do with yesterday's lesson in lesson 3. 3 times g can be written as repeated addition, g plus g plus g, where g to the 3rd power is repeated multiplication, g times g times g. There is a big difference between the two. And if you don't believe me, let's say g equals 2. So that means it would be 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 8. If g was 2 in this case, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. They're not equivalent, so they're not the same thing. Down below, you're going to write each of the expressions in expanded form, then evaluate. So what does evaluate mean? It means to solve it. So over here, I'll do one more with you. You're going to take 3 and 8 fourths 10. There's your base. Repeatedly times itself 4 times. 3 and 8 tenths times 3 and 8 tenths times 3 and 8 tenths. So you're going to have to do that for all of these down below, except here you're going to write it in exponential form and then evaluate. So make sure you read the directions for the rest of these, and best of luck.